That's tight. This fog today, very cold, but I'm prepared. I always come prepared. Ain't my first rodeo, so I know I gotta always make sure I have my gear with me. Stuff to keep me warm. So this camp won't be like 5 minutes long. Alright, so we're all set. Alright, first and foremost, let's say Hawaii Will Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do rule and teach well. Alright, there's some stuff around here. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so this young brother here, Shamash One, Banya Oda. Today we're going to be talking about there's various things in the news. We'll get into some various topics and things like that. Okay, got that. But yeah, first thing I want to get is about Walmart cutting jobs. Right, sucking the livelihood away from the people. That's what the elites are doing right now. So this is naturalnews.com. Walmart cuts another 2,000 warehouse jobs following retail store closure announcement. So 5 Walmart's e-commerce warehouses are slated to close another 2,000 jobs, the company announced this week. More than 1,000 people will get laid from a warehouse in Fort Worth, Texas, as well as 600 at a Pennsylvania fulfillment center. 40 people at a Florida warehouse, and 200 people in New Jersey. Regulatory filings show additional reductions are also planned in California. On March 23rd, hundreds of workers at 5 e-commerce facilities were informed that they will find new jobs within the next 90 days at other company locations. They will need to find new jobs in the next 90 days in other company locations. So what if those things are too far? You know, and it's not like they got enough jobs for everyone. You know, what if there's not enough jobs for everyone at the new spot? What if the new spot closes, right? According to Walmart, revenues are down, which means jobs have to go and stores need to close. I don't really believe that, but you know, that's what they say. Walmart closed a handful of stores across the country with this year's closures slated for locations in Illinois, Washington, New Mexico, Florida, and Arkansas. A total of 12 additional Walmarts across 9 states, just in addition to 2 remaining locations in Portland, will close this year, the company announced. These include Portland, right, and they show you a list of them. You got one in Washington, D.C., Milwaukee, Bentonville, so Washington, D.C., a bunch of other places. I don't know where a lot of these places are. America is experiencing a retail apocalypse with 800 stores set to close this year. Walmart and McDonald's are not the only 2 stores making these kinds of changes. Numerous other brands include Bed Bath & Beyond, Foot Locker, Burger King, Big Lots, Macy's, Gap, JCPenney, Tuesday Morning, and Park City are also lowering supporting lower performing stores to tighten their balance sheets. All in all these chains is closing the following number of stores this year: Bed Bath & Beyond, 416, Tuesday Morning, 265, Gap, 74, I never thought I'd see Gap here, right? Party City, right? 22, Walmart, 7, Big Lot, 7, The Real/Real, 6, Macy's, never thought I'd see Macy's close, 4, JCPenney, 2. Alright, so stores all over the country are failing, man. People aren't going to the stores anymore. I think a lot of the stuff is starting to switch over to Amazon. That could possibly be it. But I think a lot of these places are closing down on purpose. You know. Also the high prices, never mind. Maybe people are not shopping there because of the high prices. Yeah, you're gonna have more and more people start to shop at fucking dollar deals and shit. That's how bad it's getting out here. So then we have Amazon, the predatory retail giant that announced the closure of several fresh grocery and Go convenience stores this year. The Orwellian shopping experience these two Amazon concept stores is apparently unappealing to the average American who would rather shop elsewhere. Right? Because these places, I think they have the whole scan to go system where you scan like your Amazon account and stuff. And they're really preparing the people for the the biochip, as I like to call it, the global homework chip. Right? Severe inflation is driving many of these cost-cutting measures, as many Americans are having to buy a lot fewer things this year just to make ends meet. All right, so let's just get a few precepts here. We'll see where we take this. I'm thinking we get a few things here. Perhaps we'll start out with the one in Ecclesiastes 12. I already showed you brothers my thing already for what I'm going to talk about. So it's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. In the thou that creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I had no pleasure in them. Alright, so that's youth on a twofold level. Youth meaning young, also youth meaning you're young in the truth. These times now, remember your creator. How you remember your creator? You just follow the commandments to the best of your ability. You keep the Sabbaths. You don't go fuck around on the Sabbath, go to the bar, you go to the strip club, don't be simple, man. Don't be a simple nigga. If your boys at your job say, hey, why don't you come with us to the club today? And today is Wednesday afternoon, and it ain't sundown to such and such time, but you really shouldn't be going out with people anyway, just be by yourself. Or if you have brothers around you, if you're in a camp, just hang out with the brothers. A lot better to hang out with brothers than it is to hang out with people from the world. Brothers are going to keep you on the straight and narrow. People in the world, will get into trouble and stuff, and they'll drag you into it. So it's a lot better to be around brothers in the truth if you got it available to you. If you got brothers that are around, you can deal with them and stuff. Better just to be with them. Go get something to eat or whatever if you got time. All that. Right? Say I have no pleasure in them, right? So don't let it wait, and then the evil days come, Jacob's trouble, the missiles coming down, and now you're saying, man, we put down this blunt, we put down the cigarettes and all that. Right? Start putting that shit down now. Verse 2. Will the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain? Alright, so the sun is actually going to be literally darkened when the missiles come down. When ICBMs come down, they're actually going to block out the sun. Alright, so when that last time comes, alright, that's a symbol of like the evil days. That's the end. Alright? When the days are dark. On the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, the strong men shall bow themselves, and the blind will cease because they are few. Those that look out the windows be darkened. Alright? Strong men bow themselves and the grind to cease because they are few. I'm gonna focus on that one. The grind to cease because they're few. Alright? Meaning that the jobs are gonna be gone. Alright? Let's see here. Grind meal, hence to be a concubine, that being their employment. Alright? It's a grind meal, I think that's what it really is. Or something that's your job. A job. Okay? Takan. Okay? So when those takan, we should call it takan yum, right? This is grinders. Right? When those are few, man, when the jobs start getting lower and lower, more of these big corporations start to pull stuff. They're not going to entirely go belly up. I don't think Walmart's ever going to go belly up. But as Walmart closes down warehouses and closes down stores and shuts down thousands of jobs from local communities, alright, you're going to know it's going to be a tough time. You're going to wish you came out, and run the truth laws out here, man. I've been out here for at least here in Ithaca. Sometimes I'm in New York, sometimes I'm in Ithaca. Not to talk about my personal life, but I move around from time to time. But when I'm here in Ithaca, I be out here for weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm getting up early, all tired and shit, and still come out here and teach, and no one comes by, man. Alright, when people come by, it's occasional scoffer, and that's it. But people just come by, walk by, and just laugh. So they think I'm goofy or some shit. Think I'm stupid. Isaiah 19:5. Sorry, verse 14. Isaiah 19:14. The Lord has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggered from his vomit. The Lord has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and caused Egypt to err in every work. Okay? You know that America spiritually ate up Egypt and Sodom. It says that in Revelation 11. Spiritually eat them in Sodom. It's a place where we've been dead for 3,500 years? Not 3,500 years, 350 years. Slack it. What the hell am I saying? That's too long. 350 years, I think it's 350 days, but really it's 350 years from 1619 to 1960s. So-called black man was in slavery here in America. Alright? We've been enslaved. The tribes, not just the so-called black men, both tribes. Enslaved here in America. You had Jim Crow, you had convict leasing. It's still was basically the new form of slavery after slavery ended. Say if you were in a sundown town and you're a so-called black man and you got out of work late or something, and they caught you out there at sundown, they would go arrest you. Right? And then when they would arrest you, they would basically make you like an ultimatum. You can go serve this time, or you can work at my farm here, and you pay off your debt and you pay off your fine that way. But then when you work at the farm for convict leasing, they would have you work and work and work and work, and you would basically be stuck in eternal debt. And that's how they continue slavery after the so-called Emancipation Proclamation. Which, us in the truth, we know that the Emancipation Proclamation is nothing but a pile of shit. Alright, you can take that paper and you can just throw that shit and burn it, because they didn't do shit. Alright? And really, if you want to speak truthfully, we still are in slavery. Let your ass get locked up. You'll be working, cutting fucking, making fucking desks and shit for like 10 cents an hour, man. Alright? So all said, you should not be a slave unless for a crime. You're not going to be a slave except for a crime. Yeah, you're not going to be a slave except for a crime. I need to spit. Alright? And also perverse, right? We know that something perverse means something twisted. Something's perverted means it's twisted. Like there's another term we look into scriptures you know, Apostle Paul, that they do rest. They do rest, like wrestle, but it's like 2 Peter 3:16. As also in his all his epistles, speaking of them things, talking about Apostle Paul, which are hard to understood, which they that are unlearned and unstable rest, as they do also the other scriptures, unto their own destruction. Okay, so people that are unlearned, right, people in this world that they look at the scriptures of Paul and they basically wrestle them, you know, right? Streblo, to twist, turn away, to torture, put to the rack, pervert, who rests, tortures language in a false sense, pervert. Perversion is, I'm sure it's synonymous with twisting. You know, we're perverting something, we're torturing something, you know, twisting things. And that's what society is, twisted. You know, as they try to push more laws to make it so that, you know, children can get, you know, sex change operations without the parents' consent and all this shit. Don't say gay laws and stuff like that, you know. Women's liberation, you know, food, you know, us having to eat all these damn, you know, GMOs and, you know, processed food, especially if you don't got a lot of money, you know. And you just gotta, you know, do what you gotta do. You may have to eat that turkey sandwich and whatever, you know. We just have its uses, you know. It's good to have on the Sabbath. You know, you have like some tuna or something, turkey sandwich, and you know, you have enough of those, that'll fill you up. You'll be straight. Have that, a little salad. You know, that's a pretty basic meal. You know, some fruit. You know, I like those, but it's still no good though. You know, because that stuff got mercury in it. You know, that's why, man. That's why we're waiting for see it come, man. You know, it's just that faith is up to things not seen, things hoped for. We're hoping for it. You know, because you know, we got it fucked up out here, man. We want to live a better life, alright? So yeah, so that's pretty much what I wanted to get into. You know, when you think rest, you know, twisting, always makes me think of MMA. Like you put someone in an arm bar, and you wrap your knees around their arm and you pull. You know, this is talking about Isaiah 19:15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Alright? So there should be no work for Egypt. Alright? No work for America, which the head, tail, brush, or rush may do. Let's see if the brother got anything extra in here. Alright? Just no more jobs. Let's hear branch. Right? Rush. I don't really gotta go into all this, but rush means insignificant. Head. Rush. Okay, so no more jobs for anyone, you know? No more jobs for anyone. It's just the job's just gonna be gone. At a certain point, there's just not gonna be jobs. You know, I didn't know that. You go into the word like rush, it means like insignificant. So no jobs for the lower level guys, no jobs for the mid-level guys, no jobs for the upper level guys. It's just gonna collapse to a certain point. You know, martial law come down, you start pushing those biochips. You know, that's what all the jobs are going to be. They're going to hide them behind those biochips, you know, whatever work they have available. And they're going to have people with universal basic income if you take it. You know, your free nothings, you know, which nothing is free. You know, you get your free nothings, you know, your Fed coins, but in exchange you have to, you know, give up your life essentially. You know, because you take that stuff, you take that biochip. It's basically gonna, you know, ruin you, man. You know, it's especially serious because you can repent from anything else, man. You can repent from, you know, vaccines. You can repent from taking steroids. You can repent from, you know, being like a drug addict or some shit. But you can't repent from taking the chip. There's nothing in the scriptures that ever says that you can repent from taking the mark of the beast. You know, that's the big thing, right? Let's see a little bit more at this article. Okay. Severe inflation is driving many of these cost-cutting measures, as many Americans are having to buy a lot fewer things this year just to make ends meet. Analysis from late last year showed that American households are having to buy fewer things this year just to make ends meet. Analysis from late last year showed that American households having to spend an additional $433 per month just to buy the same things they were buying in the past before inflation took hold. There's always been inflation, you know. If you go into it, it's always been like growing. I mean, obviously, you know, there was a time where you could buy a car for like $19. You know, you had times where when we were in slavery, you know, so-called black person could buy themselves out of slavery, and it was actually feasible for them. You know, in time, it took them a lot of work, but they could do it. You know, I think it was maybe like a few $100s to do it or something, or a few thousand. But nowadays, that's probably like a couple $100,000 now. You know, but they still had to work, and it was still cruel and unusual. Still the curses, you know, still the curses, of course. I'm not saying that it's not. He shocked me there. The cashiers are miserable, wrote one commenter about what it feels like to shop at an average Walmart store. Well, it's always been like that even before then, because, you know, they overwork those damn cashiers, man. They overwork them. Retail is a shithole, man. Unless you're working like maybe like mid-level and you're like management, you know, which you're probably gonna need a fucking degree to go fucking work there. But all that stuff is like, that's a lot better than being like low level. I have experience working at retail. You know, wasn't good. You know, working at a clothing store, you know, you just fold the same shit for fucking hours on end, and it's fucking whack as fuck. You know, you fucking fold a pair of jeans, me and my woman will look at you, fold a pair of jeans, and then they'll come there and look at it, and then toss that shit on the fucking table, unfolded, and I'd be like, you fucking nigger, you know what I mean? That's all I'll be saying in my mind, like, you fucking nigger, you had to do that shit. You know, but you know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is, bro. I'm afraid to order from them or another. I used to buy groceries there about $150 an order. Then I checked my credit card bill at one time, that a $5 bill entered every day for a month. Somebody was buying a bunch of my cards, would report to the credit card company and get a new card. Yeah, so yeah, you gotta be careful with that too, man. Some of those scanners can be fraudulent. You know, some of those scanners too could you know, put stuff on there and jack your shit. Yeah, that's why you don't really want to use cards at shady ass fucking gas stations and shit. You know, it's better if you just, you know, for certain things, man, certain places, just pay the guy with cash up front. You know, don't be using your credit card everywhere. You know, but you guys already know the deal. You should know how to handle money. Right? A lot of you guys out here are, you know, like 25, 30, some of y'all in your 40s, man, 50, some of y'all 60s, so on and so forth. You know, so y'all know more about money than I do. You know, I'm just a little dude, You know, another person noted that it was clear the Biden jobs report is a lie, seeing how the currently occupying White House regime is insistent that the United States is doing just fine and is not in a recession, let alone a depression. The latest news about the implosion of the American economy can be found at the Collapse News. Okay, so yeah. So, yeah, that was that. We can go... You can go ahead and give Revelation the 6th chapter now. Speak on that now. Our choice here, what the fuck? Oh, let's see, Revelation 6. With death. Yeah, Revelation 6 and 5. And I heard the third. What the hell, man? Revelation 6 and 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see, and behold, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand." Right? And the black horse represents judgment, the seals represents judgment. You know, and the balances really means yoke, which represents slavery and judgment. You know, us going into slavery, and my brother has here Deuteronomy 28:48. Yeah, that's right. Deuteronomy 28:48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and thirst and nakedness. And the Lord of all things, he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he destroy thee. That's right. You know, that's what happened to us in slavery. We literally had yokes of iron put on our neck, man. You know, we had the shackles on our feet, you know, keep us from running away. You know, when we were working in convict leasing, pretty sure they had the thing with the ball. They had like the ball and chain, and they put that on you. They keep you from running off. You know, let me go look that up. I'm pretty sure I heard about that somewhere. Ball and chain. Alright. We're doing good on time. Chain gangs, yeah. Yeah, so convict leasing. Yeah. You see it here, you know, chain gang. You know? I think you got a song about it too. But there you go. Let me see here. I'm gonna try to zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in on this. So, come on. There we go. I want to zoom in on this. Maybe you brothers can see that. You know, I like to show things visually from time to time. But yeah, you see you got the little ball in the middle of them. Keep them from running off. You know, they did that shit on purpose. They tortured us up in there with that shit. You know, we're not gonna forget. Alright, we're not gonna forget that shit. And Jake ain't forgetting that shit as a whole. And Jake's more and more bringing it out, you know. And hey, they're doing my work for me, man. You know, so it's a blessing. When you Jakes get into it, you look it up, you make your documentaries, and I use the documentaries, and I teach on them. You know. Yeah, Revelation 6:6. Her voice in the midst of the fourth beast said, measure wheat for a penny, 3 measures of barley for a penny. See thou hurt not the oil and the wine. You know, and I've gone into this a few times, right? Measures of wheat, barley for a penny. Many things may seem like small sailings, the evil will multiply. Oil is the truth, and wine represents the truth. Actually, yeah, oil is the truth, the trimming your oil and stuff. And that one account about the versions. And wine is the versus the truth, because it won't be discouraged. So, someone fucking cut me in here. That's good. Let's put this up here. Revelation 16:17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What should I do when these evils shall come? Alright, so, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What should I do when these evils come? Ezra's saying this because he literally knew that he would be around this time. We don't know who Ezra is, though. At least to my knowledge, we don't know. No brothers ever. We don't really know who he is. No man out there has ever, through spirit said that he was Ezra. And so on and so forth. The King Bashar is King David. And I believe that. Other Pastor believes that, and I don't think other Pastor is lying. At least for me, man. Through spirit, You don't see it to me like a man who would just make up shit like that, Seems like a brutally honest guy, All the brothers in the truth are like that, man. They just tell you how it is, Of course, some brothers are a bit more, different than other brothers, a bit nicer, I guess. I don't know how you say it. A bit more relaxed. I'm not as blunt. I don't think I'm as blunt as other brothers. That's just my personality. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Alright, now 2nd Ezra 16:19. Alright, so amendment means something to change. Alright, like you have the amendments the Bible, not the Bible, but the Constitution and shit of laws. All right, you're supposed to change something when you have an amendment. And these scourges, evils are set upon the earth meant to make the people change, make the people come back, and make the people see what they're doing is wrong. And people don't listen, man. They keep out with their, agendas. Oh, look at that, we got someone watching here. Yeah, but they come out with their agendas. You guys already know the deal. LGBTs, all that bullshit. They push that shit. Alright. What shall I do when these evil shall come? Right. Verse 20, before all these things they should not turn from the wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, right? So for all these things, man, and people aren't going to change, man. You have many events that go down. A lot of these things, if we go into like, 911, we know that the elites orchestrated that whole ordeal. That whole thing was what the fuck? Yeah, that whole thing was orchestrated by the elites. You can go look it up. There's many documentaries that go into things. What was his name, man? Osama bin Laden was a CIA asset. His code name was Tim Osman. You can look that up. There was some of the guys that were, allegedly the hijackers. They went to like an Air Force Academy or something. You can look that up too. But a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. Right? Verse 21, behold, victual shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Alright, so all these things are going to grow upon earth, man. Alright, famine, confusion. As I went to this article, man, these stores are closing down because rampant inflation. People aren't going to these stores and, looking for alternative ways to shop. Or they're just buying less. When things get tight, people, they just they switch it up. They'll pay for other shit. They'll like say if shit gets tight, people won't buy the salmon, they'll buy tuna. Or if chicken gets tight and that's expensive, they may buy something else. But these people have no limits, so they'll buy pork. They'll just eat pork grinds and shit. They'll eat pork. Yeah. So I think that's it. But I think I want to get into some more stuff though. There's a whole thing that was put together here. Is it here? Famine. Yeah, we'll start here. We'll go here. So 2 Kings 6:24. And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad came. Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, not Assyria, of just Syria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria, which is in the northern kingdom. So this is back in time when the northern kingdom is still around. They didn't get yeeted out of the land yet. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it, until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the 4th part of a cab of cow's dung for 5 pieces of silver. So stuff that you wouldn't really expect to be, pricey. Come on, dude. Come on, buddy. Come on, damn it. All right, there we go. Yeah, so stuff that you wouldn't, really expect to cost a lot of money started costing a lot of money. And as things get worse and as that belt gets tighter around the people's necks, around the people's throats, stuff like rat meat is going to cost like, $80 probably. It's probably going to be like 80 Fed coins or some shit. People are going to be eating rats, for big ticket. There's going to be big ticket foods, man. A rat head, like the type of shit you see in Fallout. People eating rat meat, people eating fucking dog meat. Who the fuck eats dogs? That's what's gonna go down, man. If you're gonna eat horses, you know, you're gonna start eating the fucking plate. Just the fucking plastic plate is gonna start being a big ticket item for these people. You know, not Fed coins. What am I saying? It's just gonna cost them. It's gonna be underground stuff. It probably cost like dollars or silver. Or you gotta trade something. You know, because that's what's gonna happen. You know, Jacob's trouble is gonna give birth to you know, an underground market, an underworld market, so to say. Let me see if anyone left any comments. Okay, so yeah, everything's visible, so no one said anything, but that's good to see. At least there was someone came by. You know, I don't really get people in here like that. Most times I'm out here, I get, you know, whopping 0 viewers, you know, for the entire video. It's good to at least see someone, you know, was at least watching for a little bit, you know. I don't know who though, so could be a scoffer for all I know, you know, a troll, you know, looking for the next victim. But I'm not gonna be a fucking victim, man. I'll fucking send some goofy shit. I'm gonna send some goofy shit back, you know. Well, not even goofy shit. I'm just gonna bring out the scriptures, you know. I'm gonna correct that. So, media blackout. This is Infowars.com. Raytheon director, 1 of 4 dead in Florida plane crash. So, a top employee at one of the world's largest defense contractor dies, and the news is silent. A deadly Florida plane crash that killed 4 Indiana residents on Thursday took the life of an assistant director at the American defense company Raytheon. All right, so this armed defense, you know, contractor, which, you know, when they want to, you know, make weapons and stuff and send them, you know, these are the guys that they have, you know, created. These are the arms manufacturers. These are the guys that create the weapons. You know, spirits, you're making me get Revelation, the 6th chapter, because that goes into it. That'll do it. Revelation 6 and 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, the beast that you hear about in Daniel. The beast you hear about in Daniel's, what the fuck, not Daniel's, Daniel. The beast that you hear about in Daniel are referring to kingdoms. The Syrian kingdom, Syrian Babylonian kingdom, Median Persian kingdom, the Edomite ran Greek Empire, Edomite ran Roman Empire, going down to, which doesn't really talk about, it's not a beast, but there's a time period in between Greek rulership, Holy Roman Empire. After that Holy Roman Empire is collapsed, and then you get the Renaissance, and then you get the revival of the Roman Empire. Alright, what you see now is just America, NATO, and the EU, you know, which is the revived Roman Empire. Same thing you hear about the tolls that are partly strong, partly weak, which you read about in Daniel, the 2nd chapter. It's talking about the same thing, America, NATO, and the EU. But they're all divided against each other. You know, America will do deals behind when France is back. We're hearing about something like that. America provided nuclear submarines to, I think, Australia, and they cut France out the picture. France was pretty pissed off about that shit. Revelation 6 and 4, and when another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another, and it was given unto him a great sword. Alright? So the horse that was red represents so-called white man. A white man's skin is actually red. He's actually not white. And that's something they put on themselves around the 18th century. You know? They call themselves white, but they're not really white. They're just red. Their blood vessels, show throughout their skin. That's why when they get in the sun, they turn pink, and then over time they'll just turn red. When they get mad, they turn red. You know, whenever anything's inflamed on them, it becomes red. It becomes a dark, honestly, dark like a blood red. When they get pimples, it becomes like a bloodshot, like red. You know, whenever there's any scarring, it's always red. It's always like a pinkish, reddish color. All right. The horse represents power. this is not talking about chariot in this one. Red, right? It's Adawam, Genesis 25 and 30. They take peace from the earth. Right? It's evident from history that the so-called white men are the ones who have taken peace from the earth. That's right. My brother got here Habakkuk 2, 5, and 6, right? That roughly paraphrasing, man. Man, we should just go ahead and get it. Let's go ahead and get that real quick. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5, right? I've gone into this one so many times. You know. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is also a proud man. He is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home, whose largest his desire is hell, and is deaf, and cannot be satisfied, but gathering unto him all nations, equal unto him all people. Alright, so right, he transgressed by wine. I mean, his doctrines and his philosophies, right? They are drunk, but not with wine. You know, that scripture goes. You brothers know what I'm talking about. He's a proud man. He's a real prideful devil. Like, if you hang around a lot of like internet forums, like if you hang out on like 4chan or Reddit, you know, it's just a proud ass devil, man. You know, he really thinks that he's the best, people on the planet Earth, man. Right? Whose largest desire is hell, and as death, and cannot be satisfied. Alright, so hell, it represents the grave, man. It doesn't represent an ultimate dimension. Hell represents the grave, so the largest desire is hell. The grave is bottomless. Thousands of people die every day. It's probably say millions of people die every day. As we're talking right now, there's someone who just died. When they go down to the earth never says, that's enough. Stop putting all these fucking people, all up in me, man. Enough. The earth just swallows the people up. And as death and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto more nations, heap unto more people. So gather unto more nations, heap unto himself all people, right? So he gathers everyone to himself. My hair's a little fucked up on this side. I had to do better. It's a little bit more even. Yeah, it was vexing me. Sorry. Slack, yeah. Just had to go fix that real quick. I rush when I come out here, man. I just get out here, man. It's 9:25. I'm not gonna sit here and do all this work, iron pants and get all, slagged up and stuff. Just put on some random stuff and go. Right? And gather unto himself all nations, heap unto all people. I didn't talk about not to keep it at home, right? He's starting all these military bases around the world. I think he has. Come on, damn it. Come on. There we go. I think he has around 749 military bases all over the planet. America has those bases and whatever. Of course, other nations got bases too, and all these other nations that are confederate with America join up with them. You got NATO bases, you got NATO training facilities. So you put that all together, America, NATO, and the EU, they have an overwhelming amount of bases all over the place. Right, gather unto them all nations. I gotta talk about this thing too. The next place where they put in bases is the Philippines. They're gonna turn the Philippines into like a what do you call it? Center of operations, if you could say, or a deterrent against China, or something to deter China and try to stem Chinese aggression. But they're not gonna stem Chinese aggression because it's still World War III is gonna happen, man. It's gonna come eventually. Eventually, China's just gonna say fuck it and go into Taiwan. But basically what could possibly happen is that the Philippines could turn into the next Ukraine. There could be some Chinese aggression over there, and it could turn into the next Ukraine possibly. It could happen. We gotta wait and see, of course. Right, but gather on some more nations, he wants some more people, right? So he gathers all these nations, and all these people wants himself. You got everyone here. You got Edomites. You got Moabites, man. You got really all the nations that's on all the heathen nations you can read about in like Genesis, the 10th chapter. You got them all here, man. You got Iranians, right, which are also Edomites. Let me think. You got Sure, of course. You got everyone, man. I can't even. I'm drawing a fucking blank here. Ammon is all over the fucking place. You got Chinatown. I think you also have Japantown. At least you have Japanese neighborhoods. You know, you got Italian Edomites. You know, you got German Edomites. Right, Temanites. You got them all down here, man. And that's the point here. That was the point I wanted to get to on that, at least for now. So back into this article. I don't know if brothers were here to hear me read this, but I'll read it again. Media blackout. Raytheon director 1 of 4 dead in the Florida plane crash. You know, and if you missed something, you could always go on my channel, on my community tab. I always have, well, I don't always have. Something I started doing is that the news that I'm going to talk about the day before I camp, I put it out there. So if you want to see like what I'm talking about right now, just go to my community tab and go click it, and you'll see all the links that I may or may not talk about. I already talked about some things already, but you can go see there and get to the things that I'm talking about. You know, because I constantly say, oh, you know, if I don't get to it, I'm gonna go put it up, and then, you know, I don't do it. So I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna put it up there, you know, and make this a new thing. So the Raytheon exclusive Jeffrey Lumpkin was among the deceased in this tragic airplane wreck, along with his wife Patricia and their friends Nick, Rick, and Elizabeth Beaver, right? And this is, you know, real news. This isn't made up shit. See here, you know, Fox News, right? Fox 13. So this is real stuff. A pilot himself, Jeff Lumpkin, was flying his Piper PA-32R single-engine airplane when the crash happened. Witnesses of the incident called the police soon after the 9:30 p.m. wreck, and divers were able to recover all 4 bodies. The National Transportation Safety Board investigating the plane crash. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating the plane crash. No cause has been released. According to his LinkedIn profile, Lumpkin saw 171 other Raytheon employees in his position as the acting director of quality engineering in the company's intelligence and space division. All right, so intelligence and space division. I wonder why they have the intelligence and space division. I wonder why, right? You know, obviously you should be thinking about Yahushua. You should be thinking about the chariots. You know, them thinking that they can seriously fight the chariots of God, the Most High. All right. According to his LinkedIn profile, Lumpkin oversaw 171 other Raytheon employees in his position as the acting. Hold on. Yeah. I think I already read that. Let me scroll down. While this individual's death seems notable considering his position as one of the top arms dealers in the world, only 2 UK mainstream media outlets, I think Daily Mail covered it, have covered the news, and almost no American companies have made mention of Lumpkin's demise. Even though, you know, Raytheon is an American company, you would expect that the American news will talk about that, but they're not. You know, I think now they probably got onto it by now. You know, but you know, December 2022, Raytheon was awarded a $1.2 billion contract to provide 6 surface-to-air missiles to the Ukrainian government as it fights the Russian military. Last week, the company was awarded another $1.2 billion contract for Patriot missile system fire units for the U.S. Army to replace units the Pentagon gave to Ukraine last year. All right, so they were providing surface-to-air missiles for Ukraine. As I said, that's how it works. You know, they pretty much create this money out of the goddamn balance sheet. You know, give it to Raytheon to produce the weapons. You know, Raytheon produced the weapons, gives it to Ukraine, and then they also had another $1.2 billion contract for Patriot missile system fire units for the U.S. Army to replace the units the Pentagon gave to Ukraine last year. Now, this is ballistic missiles. Right. Raytheon is also teaming up with Northrop Grumman and Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works to replace the Navy's current fleet of 16 E-6B Mercury aircraft, which are known as doomsday planes used in nuclear war scenarios. All right. So that's what's going on. We know what those planes are going to be used for, right? You know, I mean, doesn't take a genius to see, right? World War III, nuclear missiles, nuclear bombs. These are going to be planes that are going to be used for all that. That's another topic too. I could really get into that. You can get to like Second Esdras, 15. So with a high-profile employee, the world's second largest defense contractor, dying in a plane crash while the company funds a massive war, it's odd the establishment media, even the most alternative outlets, are not covering the tragic wreck. All right, so more than likely this Raytheon guy was probably a sacrifice, for the illuminated ones, because they have stuff like that. Because planes can be hacked into. They can basically be controlled like a remote control like plane. We look at the planes like nowadays. Whenever there's something like the pilot dies, they have systems and like emergency procedures in place for them to like hijack the plane and actually like fly it remote controlly. Remote controllably, like you control it with the computer, like you control a drone with the phone. It's the same idea. Obviously, a lot more complicated. But yeah. So that's what's going on here. That's what's going on here. This whole thing is going to be blamed. I think it's going to be blamed on Russia or China. They'll say it's an assassination attempt. I don't know if people have ever really been paying attention with the whole aftermath of the whole, was it the Cash App? I think he was a CFO or something. I don't know. Possibly that could be pinned on Russian and Chinese agents or something. I don't know. But this right here, I think it's just only gonna escalate, tensions even more. So I'll get the precept that I was thinking of. Let me just go ahead and get it. And really, just Scripture says, we watch and pray. So we don't really know how this whole thing is going to play out. We'll see how it goes, man. Revelation 16 and 14. For they are the spirit of devils working miracles, which go forth to the kings of the earth and of the whole world to guide them to the battle, the great day of the power Almighty, right? By spirits of devils working miracles, right? So devils, means deceivers, really means deceivers. I think it could also be false accuser as well, but it really means deceivers when you want to get into the nitty-gritty of it, right? So they have the spirits of devils. We know the spirit represents your mind, right? So they got in their mind to do deception. And as I said, more than likely they hijacked his plane. His own buddies in the illuminated one, Illuminati, whatever, hijacked his plane, crashed it, and now they're going to blame it on Russian, Chinese agents. They'll blame it on them. But at the same time, it's very possible that it could have actually been Russia and China that actually killed this dude. More than likely just Russia, because Raytheon, if the Philippines was made into the next Ukraine, you'd bet your bottom dollar that Raytheon, Lockheed Martin would 100% be used to create weapons for that. You'd be 100% right if you thought that. Or if they turned Taiwan into the next Ukraine. I'm pretty sure it was the Philippines that was being talked about. America wants to get into, but we can go check that out. We can check that out real quick. New U.S. bases, and I'm pretty sure it's the Philippines. Yeah, I was right. Philippines. Yeah, Philippine base was South China Sea. Yeah, so I was 100% right. They want to turn the Philippines into a deterrent, deterrent place for the, against the. You guys. What the fuck? You know what I'm talking about. Against Moab, man. Right? So working miracles, how they work miracles? Work miracles through their tech. Right? Chemotherapy, all these pharmaceutical drugs, things they have that claim to make you live longer and all that. That's all their miracles. But they're really false miracles. You know, we're gonna see some real miracles. You know, read about Yahushua, man, healing the sick. Read about Elisha, bringing out the Shulamite woman's bringing back the Israelite woman's child. You know, he prostrated himself on the child like this, you know, mouth to mouth, eye to eye, and rolls the child back up, and basically like transferred like his heat to the child's body, you know, using like that spiritual power. It's really something amazing when you get into that. I think it's 2 Kings, the 4th chapter and the 34th verse. I was reading up on it yesterday. Right, to gather them to the battle that great day, the power of Almighty. So let's talk about the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat, that's how you say it. And that's another Hebrew dialect. It's just not the real Hebrew dialect. The original way you would say it would be Yahweh Mashaphat, which means place of Yahweh's judgment. All right, and that's, you know, in the Middle East. They've been talking about this. The Albert Pike letter spoke about this already. The First World War would be in Europe. Second World War would also be in Europe against Germany, against, you know, the rest of like the Allied powers, so-called Allied powers, because they're not allied to us, meaning that they're not here to save us or something, right? And the Third World will basically be against Zionism, against the Middle East, as you're seeing right now. You know, as that stuff heats up, whatever. You know, they're real nasty down there too, man. Them Ishmaelites be blowing themselves up in Israel. And Amalekites be fucking shooting them on sight and shit, you know. So, last thing we'll get for today, you know, and then I think I've made my points. You know, it's not all about you know, who could talk the, you know, the longest, and I could do an 8-hour camp and this and that. I could do 10 hours. You know, it's about making your points, right? So, this is Infowars.com again, right? Bohemian Grove goes viral after hit piece claims justice. Clarence Thomas attended globalist gathering. All right, so elitist meeting exposed by Alex Jones trends on Twitter. All right, we've talked about Bohemian Grove, you know, hundreds of times already. You know, brothers know, you know, about Bohemian Grove. Elitist all-male meetup in California, the Bohemian Grove, which meets once a year at its private location called the Bohemian Grove, was trending on Twitter Thursday. Yeah, and you can see right there, it's no bullshit. It's no bullshit. You know, let's see. Should we see that? Bohemian Grove. Right? I was on Twitter the other day, and you know, VACCINES deaths were was a trending hashtag, you know, and I was just sitting there reading it, and I was like, wow, you know, I never thought I'd see it. You know, fucking stuff being pushed out on Twitter. You know, Twitter basically becoming an alternative news space. Love to see it. I love to see it. I can actually use Twitter now, you know. Actually, I'm happy to use Twitter, you know, instead of just a bunch of fucking losers on that fucking lame ass shit, you know, and a bunch of fake news, fucking mainstream media, fucking pro-establishment bullshit. The secret society gathering went viral after the website called ProPublica published a hit piece on conservative Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, claiming he attended the retreat with a wealthy friend of his. The article focused on Thomas's friendship with the billionaire GOP mega donor named Harlan Crow, and accused the justice of violating ethics laws by joining his pal on yacht trips and other adventures. You know, I wonder what kind of adventures they were getting up to. You know, just two guys in the middle of the woods with a bunch of other dudes, you know, doing witchcraft. I wonder what kind of activities they were getting up to. You know, I doubt they were just you know, playing fucking Fallout 4 or some shit. They were you know, getting nasty with each other, man. You know, I can't be any more real than that, man. They were getting dirty. So he was gone with Crow to the Bohemian Grove, the exclusive California all-male retreat. Are any secret societies cool and clandestine, or are they all just guys and open to hiking sandals, exposing their inner thighs to the sunlight for the first time in 30 years? All right, so this is what it's going into, man. This justice was here, right here at the Bohemian Grove, and I guess they caught him, or at least they're assuming he was there. Yeah, look at this photo they got here. So yeah, we don't really need to read the rest. It just goes to how Alex Jones, made that whole video about it. You can find it on the internet if you want. But that made me think of Psalms 64. So we can just go into that. Psalm 64:1. Hear my voice, O power, my prayer, preserve my life in fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. All right, so secret counsel of the wicked, man, is going to what we're seeing here. There's secret groups, there's secret meetings. Illuminated ones, they meet up here at Bohemian Grove. Because you got politicians, big business guys. I've even seen one comment where a guy who he claims to have worked at the Bohemian Grove, because believe it or not, people can actually work there. They'll work the bar, hand out drinks and whatever. And he said that he saw I think he said he saw Shigeru Miyamoto from Nintendo, the guy behind Mario and I think Zelda. But you guys, if you're into gaming, you know who I'm talking about. You saw him there. So you got game officials there too, business guys. They'll go there and they got their secret meetings and they do witchcraft. What they have, I think they have, 30-foot owl, where they burn a mock human effigy. I mean, do I really have to spell it out how that's off? I should have no God before me and stuff like that. They're not supposed to be doing that shit, but they do it anyway because they're heathen. There's something else I'm thinking of, right? What else did I have here? Yeah, when you go into that council, this is Divan. That's what I wanted to get into. Divan, Sawad. So secret council of the wicked, right? Divan is basically like a meeting of rich people, basically, a meeting of elites, right? Who have their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, right? To come up with their propaganda. And some of that stuff they do actually come up with at the Bohemian Grove. They got many meetings. It's not just Bilderberg is one of the big ones, but you also got Bohemian Grove, but that's like their retreat. They do witchcraft, but they also apparently talk about stuff too. They get into stuff and they make decisions. I believe the decision to nuke Hiroshima and Nagasaki actually came from a meeting at Bohemian Grove. So you can look into that for yourself. And then the last thing I'm gonna get, because Spirit is having me get one last thing here. And then we'll close it out. Let me double check. No, there's nothing in here. All right. So Psalms 2:1. Why the heathen rage and the people imagine the vain thing? All right. So let's see here. That's right. Heathen rage. See here, Vagash, tumult. So why they conspire, plot? Come on. So why the heathen rage? Why they plot? Why they conspire? So let's look at that word rage again. We'll get the word for you. Vagash, 7283, right? It says conspire, plot. So why the heathen rage? Why they conspire or plot against us, right? And you should know the word conspire means to breathe against. So why they breathe against us? That's just the question being posed to, right? And how they, it's manifold, right? Back then, with Pontius Pilate and stuff, they thought that because killing is just, murdering Yahushai would put an end to the prophecies and everything surrounding him. They thought, all right, we'll murder him now, and then I'll put an end to everything, but it didn't. It didn't put an end to it didn't put an end to anything. Because Yahushua is going to come back, and and that's going to be that. And he already came back already, in terms of he rose again from the dead. But he's going to come back, which technically would be a third time, because he rose again from the dead, then went up back into the heavens in Acts, the 1st chapter. he went into a chariot. Verse 2, and the kings of the earth set themselves and will take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointing. Right? And part of the place where they do this stuff is at the Bohemian Groves. They do it in multiple places. To Bilderberg, G7 meetings. You know, they have meetings, even more secret meetings that no one hears about. You know, so they do these things in secret where they talk. Let's break their bands asunder and cast away the cords from us. So bands and cords are something that hold things together. So they're gonna break their cords and bands from us. Meaning, you know, they're gonna split up the tribes, man. That's one of the things let's talk about. How can we keep the so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native American, it's like foreigners from coming together, man, and you know, being together, you know. But you know, they did a lot of stuff. They did the Sicilians. They made the Sicilians, you know, they classified them as white and all that, you know. But yeah, they done all kind of stuff, you know. They let the Hispanics, they try to convince the Hispanics that they can consider themselves white, you know, and they basically split us down the middle. You know, we got black, Hispanic, and Native American, you know, really black against Hispanic, Hispanic against Native American, everyone against everyone, basically, you know. But we don't even see ourselves. A lot of us, 2/3 of us even, don't see ourselves, don't necessarily see ourselves as the same people. Because even though you do have 2/3 that know that they're Israelites, of course you do. Because you see these guys out here with their guns and rap music and shit, you know, they're 2/3, man. A lot of those dudes ain't right, but you do have some sincere members among those camps. So, Panyaha Kadam, right? They say, Kalam Lo Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the elders and apostles. We bring most on once again, and Lord willing, you know, Buzz edified, you know. I don't know who that viewer was, but the water for checking in, and that's it. Shalom. Well, 2 of you viewers, you know, that's it. We're gonna close out.